for March 10th, 2020, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a time for change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot of things to discuss. Also, the now clock. If you missed, because I've got one right here, and they're really they're great, because you just look at it and just see now, and all the numbers are. So probably a good thing to keep us reminded of staying, being in now, period. And you could go to get the clock, you can go to redbubble.com. So red is in the color, bubble, like in, bubble bath.com. Redbubble.com. Okay. Lots of things transpiring on this planet. Lots of things. All celebration as far as I'm concerned, because we're witnessing the end of a control factor of this planet that's been going on for literally thousands of years. And as we progress, as we continue to increase vibrational frequency at our own choosing, in our own way, in our own direction, we if you live, if you live in this life lightly, a lot of us take it really deeply seriously. When you can step outside your life and see, when you're in the picture, it's hard to see the picture. It really is. But when you can step outside of it and look at it from outside, you'll be able to literally take in the bigger picture of all things, of everything. And you begin to understand how our entire lifetime is the most magnificent game you'll ever get to play. Now, when you're in, some of you may have this feeling, maybe a little bit, but when you're not in physical form and you're in etheric form, the difference between the two is frequency. The body is made up of dense frequencies that keep it as a whole part appearing physical in a lower dimensional frequency. And 3D is a lower dimensional frequency. It isn't a high dimensional frequency. So these bodies house our essence, our God, within it. You can call the God, the soul, the spirit, whatever you want to call it. It ends up being pure consciousness, and then beyond. So, source creation, that which created us as gods, and we are housed in this dimension to experience, and the way we do that is in the physical body. You can touch, you can sense, you can smell, you can experience a lot of things every second that we're in these bodies. So you begin to understand how this entire lifetime really truly is. It's a magnificent game. And it's one of those games that you're ever going to get to play. cripple your soul. So it is important, if we choose, if any of us choose, I choose to drop this overly serious self ASAP. You just don't even go there with it. You don't need such a tight grip on yourself. In fact, all your dreams, desires will manifest absolutely effortlessly and much faster when you're living lightly and being more gentle on yourself. Living lightly and being much more gentle on yourself. We're not that gentle with ourselves. You know, we may think we are, but we're not. And none of us are exempt from this at all. But it is a good thing to practice being more gentle on yourself. It just feels better. You ever notice that? You ever notice when you get, irritated at yourself, angry with yourself, frustrated with yourself, impatient with yourself? You ever notice how it feels? You ever take a moment, step outside, and go, this isn't a feeling I care to entertain? It feels better when you are light. You're not, you don't have the pincher's full pressure on yourself. And it just feels better. It's like you almost give yourself permission to have just a good, long belly laugh at all these ridiculous demands that we put on ourselves. It's crazy. And then for just like a recipe, why don't we put it that way? Add a dollop of silliness to your conversations. And you give yourself full permission to be clumsy and carefree. Just to see how wild, foolish, and untamable you can feel. Untamable. Isn't that an active frequency? Untamable. What does that actually mean? You're not under bicameral control. You are thinking for yourself. You feel for yourself. You govern yourself. You lead yourself. It's really fun, and I think this is, it really is the residual bicameral effects on the civilization, even though it's conscious and has been for well over 2 millennia. And the fact of the matter is that we have this pressure that we, only us, each and every one of us, put on ourselves. Why? Why do we do that? Why do we put so much pressure on ourselves? It's like we put ourselves in a vice grip. How many of us, really give ourselves permission to be silly to our conversations? Full permission to be clumsy and carefree. And just basically see how wild, foolish, and untamable we can feel. You imagine all the weight that each and every one of us are carrying on our shoulders, and how long we've been carrying it. Way, way, way far too long. Far too long. Don't you think, don't you feel that we deserve to experience something refreshing and new? It's part of being in these bodies. It's part of experiencing this life. So many of us choose to be serious. Oh, You're being too serious. You can't do that. So you free things up. You let the grip go. This life that each of us are experiencing, it's an amazing exploration of taking radical responsibility for being happy and free. Radical responsibility for being happy and free. You just do it because you're choosing to enjoy your life more. You know, someone says Ethel, why do you do that? Because I choose to enjoy my life as much as possible. Do you think that I'm going to be in this body and put pressure on myself, stress myself out, be serious most of the time, and never really be radically funny, foolish, and untamable? You notice how we keep ourselves almost in a cocoon, I'm too old to be silly. I can't be silly. I can't be radically, silly, wild, foolish. Now, either you choose to enjoy your life more, or you sit in that little cubicle totally experiencing dankness with your existence. And when you do this, you choose to do it, it means appreciating every single minute situation that you get yourself into, and letting the world be as crazy as it is. Allow all the people to express themselves in whatever way their soul needs to let her rip. And by giving others this radical freedom means that you also get full permission to let it rip too. And here's a question for everybody. Isn't that how you want it to be? Don't you and I won't use the word seriously, don't you enjoyably understand deep within you and feel every one of us deserve much more joy, freedom, and pleasure. And the only way we're going to do that, there's only one way. We let and enlighten our load today. And we welcome in more giggly, goofy, silly in this year. And from this day forward, forever. Try it. See what happens. There's amazing things occur. You come across others that they're, and I think we've caught ourselves at times where you're just so focused on being so serious. Life is so serious. It's just a serious thing. It's full of heartache and trauma, fear, a little bit of joy, but mostly fear. How ludicrous. Amazing things are created into reality when you feel super, super, super free. each and every one of us will enjoy hanging out with ourselves so much more. You ever notice sometimes that you don't like being with yourself? It's because you take things so darn seriously, and as these bodies get older prematurely, which is also another story, we become more cynical, more stressful, more anxiety-filled. And then by the time we're ready to exit the body, we're so worn out that we really don't give a darn. And we're worn out because we weren't being goofy, silly, and radically happy. When you feel super free, we all will enjoy hanging out with so much more with ourselves. Everybody already knows your deep secret that's way down inside you. There is a playful, fun child who is innocent, easygoing, and feels super lucky to be alive. It is said, whoever can have the biggest belly laugh at it all will always be our very best guide. So when you see people that are just genuinely belly laughing at stuff, and you ever know, how can you laugh at that? That's horrible that you're laughing at that. You see how we take things? So whenever you're around someone who ever has the biggest belly laugh at all of it, everything, this silliness on this planet, this dog and pony show, this falsity, all of these make-believe, fear-mongering, conjuring, basically smoke. It is absolutely hilarious. I mean, all of us should just be having one heavy-duty belly laugh at it all. Can you really? You have full permission to totally let go. And I don't mean, insanity type thing. I mean, just let it all go. Let it go. Belly laughs. Suppressing the youth, the vibrancy, the youngness within us. Well, my body's old. That's just so stupid to be a kid. Boy, is that ever off track? And we literally fall right into the trap of, well, you can't do that because you're not a kid anymore. Really? That's funny. Because yes, I am. And that kid is deep within me. And there is no way I will allow myself or anyone else to diminish that child within me. No way in shape, form, ever. So I choose to be happy. You choose to be happy. You give yourself permission to have a good long laugh at all these ridiculous demands you put on yourself. Throw in a little bit of silliness to your conversations. Give yourself full permission to be clumsy and carefree. And just see how wild, foolish, and untamable you can feel. Untamable means that no external authority is going to break you, imprison you, diminish you, or lead you, or govern you. And I bring this up a lot, when when we were children in little bodies, okay, did we really worry? Did we stress and fear? Did we ridicule ourselves, come down on ourselves? Did we do those things? We didn't. Do you know what we did? We played. How many people play? Well, you know, that's for kids. And I've heard so many excuses coming from people of all walks of life, how they justify not being a kid. Because it's so ridiculous. Because the body gets old, which it shouldn't do, but it gets old. And so guess what? We take the child that we really truly are, because the child is full of imagination. The child has no boundaries. The child is absolutely free. The child doesn't ridicule himself or herself. Child doesn't sit there and come down on themselves. They just play. They have fun until we start teaching them all of the things that we were taught that caused us to become cocooned and separated from our child. You notice how that works? And you're going to see an explosion as we transition more and more into fifth dimensional frequency, and this world becomes no more in our eyes. You're going to see a lot more people playing and enjoying and literally embracing their own freedom, which they always have been. Always. When you are connected to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, you cannot be contained. It doesn't matter if you're in a soul catcher. It doesn't matter. You cannot be contained. For that which tries to contain you must contain itself. And for it to contain itself, it must diminish and cease. Can you see how ridiculous it is? It is interjected thought created out of thin air from far away. It isn't even your thought that you embrace and create into reality. Do you imagine that? And because we have been so kept away from ourselves, locked up away from ourselves, our true selves, we believe that that's just normal process. It's the way life is. Life does not dictate to you. You dictate to life. Everything's been twisted, and we have untwisted it. And now it flows freely. Period. So this meditation, simply put, untamable. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. First thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. We accumulate, doesn't matter, you know, it is a constant practice, an enjoyable practice, but we accumulate from meditation to meditation. We absorb things, we experience things. The thoughts start flooding in, and then we start, you know, things start being weaved and manufactured, because we are supreme reality, and we are supreme creators, and we're pure consciousness, so pretty simple to do that. So we let it all go. We just surrender it. There's no need for it. There's no issues, anything. And these thoughts that dictate to the heart mind, they dictate to it through the ego mind. And that makes us stress, and it makes us worry, and it makes for one, it is for all. And it is for all, it is for one. Because we can't escape the connection because we're all part of one. We experience different things in different ways. We look different in these physical forms. We lead or desire different things. But all in all, we're all one. So we let go. We just dump it. It's just like the hot air balloon. You just throw the ballast out so the hot air balloon can soar as high as you'd like it to soar, so you can see as much of the beauty of the surface of this planet as possible, which is you. Now, as we relax, let go, we want to move into the now. And moving into the now is all we have anyway. It's all we've ever had. The past is dead. We've already experienced the things that are in the past. Why would we go there and drag it into our future to create our future, which a lot of people do? Why would we incessantly pursue the future when it hasn't been created yet? And the only way we're creating it is in the now. Right now. We're creating our futures. We aren't in a hurry. See, we aren't in a hurry. We're not stressed. You know, we aren't under pressure with ourselves, and we're just flowing. You know, we're on an amazing exploration. And this amazing exploration is now. Dimensional change and shift is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not yesterday. It's now. Increase of frequencies. Increase of euphoria. Blissfulness. Happiness and joy. It'll become more frequent. And then eventually, it'll be seamless. We'll be in it all the time. So in this now, we create our future. We still the ego mind. How can that be? Well, if you're in the now and you're only focused on the now and what you are, what you're doing, what you're enjoying and experiencing and grateful for in the now, how can the ego mind machine gun you with thousands of thoughts of mostly that aren't yours? How can it do that? It can't. It can't do that. See? Because you're the master and commander. You literally position with the heart mind in the now. It totally shuts off all the noise. Who wouldn't want to be in the now all the time? Who wouldn't want to be? Do we really care to have tens of thousands of thoughts out of nowhere machine gunning us constantly? And where we are not conscious of, we are literally embracing and creating those thoughts into reality? And then we blame the circumstances of that which we had created for ourselves. So we relax the body, we move into the now, and we breathe. Breathing is paramount with each and every one of us. And the silly thing is that, of course, we take this life so seriously, and we forget that we breathe. It's the truth. A lot of people forget that they breathe. See? And the breathing for the body is imperative for sustaining it. And the less we breathe, the more the trauma the body goes into. And the more shallow we breathe, the more the body goes into trauma. You may not notice it first, but eventually you will. You will. And as we breath in through the nose. We take a wonderful, relaxing breath in through the nose, and we sustain it for about 3 seconds. And when we sustain it for the 3 seconds, we use frequencies. And the frequencies are, I am love, I am light, I am power, I am bliss, I am joy, I am abundance, I am prosperity. You don't do it from the ego mind. Most people will just do it from the ego mind. You might as well just be pouring gasoline on a fire. You do it from the heart mind, genuinely. You'll know. You know the difference. And you do that 1001, 1002, 1003. I am light, I am love, I am. I am bliss, I am power. I am freedom. I am happiness, I am joy. And then we do a wonderful breath out through the mouth. And as we breath in, we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking, but as we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. What is that? Where does that come from? It comes from source creation. What is source creation? Pure consciousness. What is consciousness? It is that which creates all things beyond consciousness. There's always a layer. There's always a creator, whatever it may be. And as you all learn, there is a whole nother existence beyond consciousness. If you choose to. And it communicates through the God within us, the kingdom of God within us, the God within us, the heaven within us. And it goes through the heart mind. It doesn't go through the ego mind, through the heart mind. It's a wonderful, uplifting vibrational frequency. And we are untamable. And I don't mean that in a negative way. We're untamable from this perspective of we are not to be led. We are not to be governed. We are not to entice or entertain external authority. We are not to be thought for. We are untamable. We are completely free, always have been, always will be. We are untamable. We are amazing. We are spectacular. We're funny. We're lighthearted. We're giggly, goofy. All of those things that we have incessantly been forced into believing that we are not, and that we are tameable, and that we need to be led, and we need to be governed, and we need to be thought for, and we aren't free. That's when you can really start to have a full belly laugh for quite some time. It isn't ego either. It's the heart mind and the God within. Now, when we breath out, we're breathing out, which we know. The breath out is the conflict with the ego mind and the bicameral control factor of the civilization that plays on all of us at one time, shape, form, or another. But the power is the knowledge and the awareness that that is then the scenario. And it is becoming no longer for this civilization. It's falling away. So we are in the heart mind, and we are with the God, the kingdom of God. We are the God. And we're all together. And we have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. All of them. Their civilization have vibrated a different frequency than we do, and this is why we don't see them like we see each other. They do appear in humanoid form on occasion, and if you're conscious enough, you'll vibrate and go, well, that was an angel. Where did they go? They're gone. They left humanoid form. They're in their own frequency. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy to appear in another frequency because the lower frequencies are much denser, heavier, say. And when your light body is much lighter in a higher frequency, and then you come into a lower, heavier frequency, it takes a lot to sustain your presence. It's not something that's a real, simple thing. That's why you don't see it a lot, okay? But they vibrate at the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest, deepest gratitude. And there's trillions of them. And it isn't unusual for one of us to be surrounded by 10, 20, 30,000 of them. And we have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Bell, Thoth, many, many, many more. They've ascended out of physical form into God. We've ascended God into body. So we're experiencing this wonderful existence that we call life, which is a wonderful experience in the body. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you're a kid and you're going to a carnival for the very first time. That's pretty much what these lives are. Full of excitement, wonderment, happiness, and joy. How many of you still have wonderment? How many of you still have that? We all do. How many have buried it so long that they don't know what it is anymore? I recommend you bring it out front and center. So the Ascended Masters, in the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes. So we're all together. Literally trillions of us. And we form a circle of light around this planet Earth, Gaia, its equator, its half point. And we literally become pure, brilliant light. And that is because of the high frequency of deep eternal love. And that is what created us through Source, through pure consciousness. This brilliant light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of space. And we all begin to levitate. We move up. We ascend. And as we do this, there's this gossamer field created around the planet, inside, outside, above, and below. And all of us, all life, cascading throughout the solar system and beyond. And it's like it's like lightning bugs, but 1,000 times brighter when they glitter, when they're light sparks. And it's beautiful, vibrant light color. And the color on this planet at this time pales in comparison to these colors, these reflections, and this gossamer mist. And it's reminders for us. Archangel Raphael carries a column of emerald green, flaming, healing light. And that is a reminder that we are the power of healing. The violet, blue, purple light, flaming light of Archangel Michael. It is a column that Michael carries to remind us of the strength and the resolve that we are. The power. And we have the white fire, which is high frequency, extremely high frequency armor, if you will, that basically cases our form. And it is pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. It reminds us of how protected we are. And any low dark matter frequency or low survival matter frequency cannot sustain itself for even a split second. It will vaporize. So it's our choice. So if we lower ourselves deeply enough into the dark matter frequencies or lower survival frequencies, we open up the doors, invite them all in. So it is our choice, always our choice, always will be. We are protected 24/7. We have the purple transmuting flame. It's the column to remind us that if we have any attachments of low dark matter frequencies, we can immediately transmute them into neutral light substance through the heart mind, and they're sent back to source creation from which they came. We have the violet ray. That's the column that reminds us that then we bring it in and cleanse the area that we just got through mitigating of lower dark matter frequencies. And then we have the golden white pink light of source creation. Prime source creator God, mother, father God, feminine, masculine. All of us, of that which created us all, source creation. And it is the column to remind us that we are pure, deep, eternal love. Now, as we float away above the planet and we're outside of our form, we immediately call on all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation and this now in this circle of light in the highest of deepest gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, and tranquility. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this entire universe. They come in the trillions of Gugaplexes from every direction. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere and expanding. We call upon all of the inhabitants of hollow earth, Agartha, inner earth, beneath earth, many, many, many civilizations, Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, and the highest of deepest gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, generosity, gentleness, kindness, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the deepest of eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to expand. We call upon the off-worlders, the galactics. And there are many, many, many of them. Many civilizations. Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Syrians, just to name a fraction. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest gratitude join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, generosity, gentleness, kindness, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the deepest of eternal love. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and continues to expand. We call upon our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, in the highest of deepest gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, tranquility, and they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the deepest of eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the deepest of eternal love. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere and expanding. We call upon all the light energy beings who've decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest of deepest gratitude, join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. And there are many of them, and just to name a few, fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. And many, many, many more. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, generosity, gentleness, kindness, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the trillions. Colors, shapes, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never, ever seen before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to expand and saturate and flood all that there is. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere. Over 2 years ago, it holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. It floods all existence, all creation. It can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You feel it. We all feel it. It is a vibrational frequency. It floods and saturates our physical body, our etherical body. It brings us together as one. It floods us with the understanding that we are, always have been, always will be free, that we are untamable, that we are thinking for ourselves, that we are leading ourselves, that we are governing ourselves, that we are happy, that we are goofy, that we deserve super amounts of joy, freedom, and pleasure. And that today, and from this day forward, we will lighten and enlighten ourselves to amazing levels of being super free, super light, super happy, and super joyous. We look down upon this planet, Earth, Gaia. We see all life, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia. And they too are being flooded and saturated through source creation, through deep eternal love, through deep eternal gratitude. They too, that they are super joy, super freedom, super pleasure, super enlightenment, that they are giggly, goofy, that they are happy, free, always, that they are easygoing, that they are playful children, as we all are. And it continues to expand, and it continues to saturate, and it continues to strengthen. Join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. untamable. Joy and happiness and choosing and to be light on ourselves. And finally shed this contrived and structured matrix of lower frequencies. It's our choice. It's no one else's. Because one way, shape, form, or another, we are continuing to ascend into higher dimensional frequencies. It's happening every split second. That's why you see certain things that just don't seem to be what they were a day ago. There's just some differences. And this is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to accelerate. So, take it with you the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. And it's a good thing to be goofy. It's a good thing to be light on yourself and to have fun and enjoy every single second you're in that body. As I mentioned in the beginning of the meditation, we have a time for change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern on this line. And we will be back here to continue the Global Guided Meditation call March 11th, 2020, Wednesday.